So I'm Mario, I'm the head chef at Bistro Gentil in Wanaka. I'm here to host the team from Brisbane, who's going to be with us for the next couple of days. So Team Brisbane will be myself, Chef Chris Hagan, and sommelier Pete Marchant.
First and foremost, Wanaka is one of the most prettiest parts of the world, and I sort of fell in love with Wanaka many years ago, and it's such a privilege to come back and see it again and see where everyone's at from the food and wine perspective. It's just developed so much, and it's going to be cool to get out to some of the regional stuff and see some of the producers. It's great to always taste it on the plate and to see it in the restaurants as the finished product, but it's really important, I think, for all of us to sort of know where it comes from and to actually see these places and to speak to the farmers that are growing these animals and growing this produce. Amazing morning, up early, sort of watched the sunrise here, which was just incredible, and just watching the sun come up over the lake and getting started for the day and headed out to West Wanaka and this incredible venison farm. There's just so much care and attention into these animals, and again, it's just seeing where this stuff comes from, and these venison have to be happy. The land that they're on, it is some of the most beautiful country you've ever seen. And just hearing the I suppose, and I hate using that word, it's that overused term of passion of this farmer, but seeing how much care and attention goes into growing these amazing animals and then getting to be able to play with the products and for then me to be able to sort of see where it comes from. I think you get to understand the product more, so that from a matching perspective you can really sort of hone in on a couple of characters in particular. So today I'm talking about the deer feeding on wild thyme, and so there's that herbal sort of stuff that you do pick up a little bit in some of the meats. So hopefully we can pick that up with some of the wines that we look at today.
So these are the roasts I was telling you about yesterday. So it's quite a mission to pick them because they're so thorny. But once you take them off, blanch them or steep them really nice. Yeah.
Fruit has thorns on it.
Yeah, I told you, it's like crazy.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it tastes delicious, but it's not hard work to harvest.
Can we taste these?
Yeah, you can try to eat one. It should be really zesty. I'll give you extra spiky.
You go. Do you want it?
Give you extra spiky.
I want to try it.
Just like eat the outside, don't eat the stone or the seed. It's not as nice without the sugar, is it?
No, it's not. But it's that acid.
Super acidic. Just at the Bistro Gentil garden at the moment, where I'm lucky enough to have lots of varieties of stone fruits, apples, pears, that we can turn into chutneys, sorbets, ice creams. So I thought I'll bring Chris over here and see what local things we can use here. And it's organic, it's fresh, you know where it came from.
So we're going to use some hazelnuts, and we've got a lot of little garnishes, so some rosemary flowers, rose petals, and some mustard leaf as well. Yeah, I suppose I'm really appreciative of how accommodating Mario has been and letting me use his kitchen and prep and show me some of the local produce around the area. It's been a great time and great meeting him, and you always learn how different people do things. Yeah, so next up we're going to go to the local honey farm and have a look at a few hives and see, so we can use it for the entree and try and round out, just finish it with a little bit of sweetness with the figs.
So we're here at Lake Hawea, right on the shore. It's amazing behind me here, and we've just been through the tasting and seen these incredible bees and looking at all the manuka up on the hillside, and the impact that it has on this honey is quite remarkable. And it's really interesting looking at the flavour profiles against the clover honey as well. And I think people's sort of perception of what honey is to what this is a completely different step. So it's going to be really interesting to see it influence the dish and what the guy's going to do with it, and just seeing the reaction of the different flavours and how we can play with this for the course tomorrow. Is going to be amazing. It's great listening to Ruben because he's fourth generation beekeeper, so he's probably part honey, I think, inside himself, but it's just really cool. He's obviously he's into it, and I think that's the thing with any of the producers that we've met whilst we've been here in Wanaka, is that everyone's into it properly. They're not doing it for necessarily commercial reasons first. It's like they just love it and they want to do it, and that just comes through in the products that they're producing, and that's the stuff you fall in love with. So really looking forward to seeing how we can use the elements that we've seen today across the different properties with the different producers and working out how it can all come together in the dish to show off the best that we can from Wanaka. So standing in the Mount Maud vineyard, right in front of it, which is quite amazing. We've got Mount Maud behind us, this amazing slope of incredible wines. It's great to sit down and talk with SK and actually go through the wines in situ, where the wines are actually made. There's something really special about being in the vineyard, where the fruit's coming off, and it's about to come off the vines right now. And looking through these wines and seeing exactly what the aspect and what the layout of the land has actually had into producing this wine. So what we're actually looking at here is the East meets West Pinot, which is two different blocks that come together to make this really intriguing, super spicy style that is very different to the classics, to the Central Otago style. And it's almost like it's very Wanaka, which I think is pretty cool. And you know, this is the thing that I think we're going to actually do with the venison today. Pretty excited to get this. This is an idea we had before I even got here, I suppose, was potentially using something that wasn't quite finished, and so awesome to taste this today at Maud. A secret squirrel kind of thing that we're going to do potentially for lunch, which is non-fermented grape juice. It's so concentrated and so delicious. It's almost like cordial, but hopefully with Chris's dish, it's going to work an absolute treat.
So we have 15 people arriving for a long lunch today at Wharakia, and we'll be putting all our ideas together to form 3 lovely dishes. I think we found some really cool ingredients in the backcountry of Wanaka, all wild and foraged, fresh.
Having tasted Mario's food and knowing Chris's food so well, it's kind of a blend of both of them in these dishes, which I think is really awesome. I thought it was going to be one sort of leading, but it's this really awesome sort of dance that's happened over the last couple of days. And you know, there's some familiarity there in one of the dishes and maybe not so much in the other. So we're going to, you know, sort of play with the classics a little bit, but you know, we're not going to reinvent the wheel. The flavours here are so pure. We don't need to do anything crazy with them. It's just bringing them out. And that's the thing when we've got these amazing figs from Mario's garden, you know, the hazelnuts from behind the bistro, you know, and this amazing venison for main course. Dessert's going to be really cool as well. I'm really looking forward to the match with that one that we've got planned.
My personal highlight was probably working with the boys and also seeing a bit of Wanaka that I haven't seen, like when we went to the venison farm, seeing the backcountry parts of Wanaka that I didn't even know was there.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an incredible experience. Fantastic time sort of working with different chefs and seeing different produce. You know, rosehip isn't something I've used before. And yeah, and it's a beautiful part of the world to come down to and hang out for a few days and cook some food. Yeah. You know, the people and the atmosphere and the produce as well has been fantastic.
I mean, I think people enjoyed themselves from a lunch perspective. It would have been pretty cool to sit down and have all those dishes together. But try and thread a line through that, which is what we did. So it's just great working with good people who love food and wine.